Trevor gripped the steering wheel tighter as his phone buzzed for the third time that morning, the familiar area code from his hometown flashing like a warning sign. He knew without answering that it was his sister, Emily, calling about another emergency. Maybe the roof leaking again or Dad's truck needing repairs. For years, he'd been the family's go-to fix, wiring money from his high-rise office in Manhattan. But today, with Jamie beside him in the passenger seat, everything felt different. They were heading to the annual family reunion in rural Illinois, a tradition Trevor had dreaded since college. Jamie squeezed his hand, his voice steady. "You don't have to do this alone anymore." Trevor nodded, but inside, doubt churned like a storm. His family saw him as the successful son, the one who made it out and sent checks home without question. What would they say when they learned the truth about who he really was? The drive from New York took 2 days, filled with podcasts and roadside diners where Jamie made Trevor laugh until his sides hurt. Jamie was everything Trevor wasn't: free-spirited, an up-and-coming painter from Brooklyn who lived for colors and chaos, while Trevor thrived on spreadsheets and stability. They'd met at a gallery opening 2 years ago, when Trevor, fresh off a grueling merger deal, wandered in seeking distraction. Jamie's smile had cut through the crowd, and soon, their conversations turned into late-night walks, then shared mornings. But Trevor had kept it all hidden from his family, feeding them stories of being too busy for relationships. Back home in Elmwood, the family dynamic was predictable. Mom, with her endless church committees, Dad with his factory job and quiet disappointments, Emily juggling 2 kids and a deadbeat ex, and brother Mike, always one scheme away from striking it rich. Trevor was the golden child, the one who escaped to the Ivy League on scholarships and built a career in finance. "You're our rock," Mom would say, but Trevor knew it meant our bank. Last Christmas, he'd covered Emily's mortgage arrears. The year before, Dad's medical bills after a work injury. He never minded at first. It was his way of giving back, of proving his worth beyond the small-town whispers about why he never brought a girl home. As they pulled into the driveway of the old farmhouse, Trevor's heart raced. The yard was already buzzing with relatives. Aunts unloading casseroles, cousins chasing kids, the air thick with barbecue smoke. Jamie glanced at him. "Ready?" Trevor swallowed hard. "As I'll ever be." They stepped out, hands brushing but not holding a not yet. Inside, hugs and backslaps greeted them. "Trevor, look at you, big city boy," Uncle Ray boomed, eyeing Jamie curiously. "And who's this?" Trevor took a breath. "Everyone, this is Jamie, my boyfriend." The room fell silent, forks pausing mid-air. Mom's smile froze, Dad's eyes narrowed, and Emily's jaw dropped. Aunt Linda recovered first, forcing a laugh. "Boyfriend? Like a friend who's a boy?" But the tension was palpable, a crack in the facade Trevor had maintained for so long. The afternoon unraveled slowly. Whispers followed them like shadows. Cousin Sarah pulled Trevor aside in the kitchen. "Is this some New York phase? You know how Mom and Dad feel about that stuff." Trevor felt a flush of anger. "It's not a phase, Sarah. It's who I am." She shook her head, glancing at Jamie chatting awkwardly with the kids. "But the family, we've always counted on you being, normal." Dinner brought the first real clash. Seated around the long table, Dad cleared his throat after grace. "So, Jamie, what do you do?" Jamie smiled politely. "I'm a painter. Abstracts mostly, but I teach classes too." Uncle Ray snorted. "Painter? That's a hobby, not a job. Trevor here pulls in the real money." Trevor interjected, "Dad, Jamie's talented. His work sells." But the undercurrent was clear. Jamie wasn't what they expected, and neither was Trevor's revelation. As night fell, Mom cornered Trevor on the porch. "We raised you better than this. What about grandkids? What about our values?" Tears welled in her eyes. "And all that money you've sent. Does he know you're supporting us?" Trevor's chest tightened. "Mom, my life isn't just about funding everyone's problems. I love Jamie." She turned away, murmuring about praying for him. That night, in the guest room, Jamie held Trevor as he vented. "They act like I'm betraying them just by being happy." Jamie kissed his forehead. You've given so much. Maybe it's time they stand on their own. Trevor lay awake, replaying years of wire transfers and thank you calls that now felt hollow. Was his family's love conditional on his silence and his wallet? The next morning, tensions simmered over breakfast. Emily approached, kids in tow. Trevor, can we talk? Privately, she led him to the backyard, away from Jamie. Look, I get it, you're gay. Fine. But bringing him here is stirring up drama. And honestly, with my situation, she trailed off, eyes pleading. The car's acting up again. Could you spot me a few hundred? Trevor stared, incredulous. Emily, I just came out to the family, and that's what you're focused on? She flushed. We've always relied on you. If this changes things, what happens to us? Trevor felt a surge of resentment. All these years, he'd been the fixer, the one who never asked for anything in return. But now, with Jamie, he saw a future where he wasn't defined by his checkbook. The reunion games turned awkward. During volleyball, Mike sidled up. Bro, bad timing with the boyfriend thing. Dad's been talking about retiring early, figuring you'd help out. Trevor spiked the ball harder than necessary. Mike, I have my own life. Mike laughed it off, but his eyes were calculating. By evening, the whispers had grown into confrontations. At the bonfire, Aunt Linda, emboldened by wine, voiced what others thought. Homosexuality is a sin, Trevor. We've supported you all these years. Scholarships, encouragement. And this is how you repay us. Jamie, sitting nearby, stood up. Supported him? Trevor has been supporting you. He's paid for half the things in this house. The group erupted, accusations flying. Dad shouted, "This is our family. Outsiders don't get a say." Trevor pulled Jamie away, heart pounding. In the quiet of the barn, he apologized. "I shouldn't have dragged you into this." Jamie shook his head. "No, you needed to. They've been using you." Trevor realized Jamie was right. His family's love came with strings, tied to his success and his secrecy. As they packed to leave early the next day, Mom handed Trevor an envelope. "For the drive," she said stiffly. Inside was a check repayment for last month's loan, but only half. "We appreciate what you've done," she added, avoiding his eyes. Dad nodded from the doorway, silent. Emily hugged him goodbye, whispering, "Call me about the car?" Driving away, Trevor felt a mix of relief and sorrow. Jamie turned on the radio, a soft melody filling the car. "You okay?" Trevor smiled faintly. "Yeah. For the first time, maybe." But doubts lingered. Had he shattered the family bond? Or just exposed its fragility? The weeks following the reunion were a whirlwind of silence and sporadic texts. Trevor's phone, once buzzing with family requests, went quiet except for the occasional, "How are you?" from Mom, laced with unspoken pleas. In Manhattan, life with Jamie felt like a sanctuary, gallery nights, cozy dinners, plans for a future unburdened by secrets. But guilt gnawed at Trevor. Was he abandoning them? One evening, as they walked through Central Park, Jamie broached it. "You've barely mentioned them. That's not like you." Trevor sighed, watching joggers pass. "I keep thinking about what Aunt Linda said, about repayment." Jamie stopped, facing him. "Trevor, you've repaid 100-fold. Financially, emotionally. Hiding who you are, that's the real debt they've imposed." Back at work, Trevor threw himself into a major deal, negotiating terms for a tech startup acquisition. His boss praised his focus, but inside, distractions mounted. A call from Emily came mid-meeting, ignored, then a voicemail. "Trevor, the kids' school fees are due. Dad won't ask, but we need you." He deleted it, but the weight lingered. Jamie noticed the change. Over wine one night, he pushed, "Talk to me." Trevor confessed, "They raised me in a world where family comes first, no matter what. But now it's like my happiness is a threat." Jamie listened, then shared his own story, coming out to progressive parents who embraced him, but losing friends along the way. "It's not about them accepting us immediately. It's about you accepting yourself." Inspired, Trevor started therapy, unpacking years of people-pleasing. Sessions revealed patterns. As the youngest, he'd learned to earn love through achievement, then money. Your family dynamic is transactional, the therapist said. Coming out disrupts that. Trevor nodded, seeing it clearly for the first time. Meanwhile, back in Elmwood, ripples spread. Mom confided in church friends, some offering sympathy, others judgment. Dad buried himself in work, grumbling about city influences. Emily vented to Mike, "If Trevor cuts us off, we're screwed." Mike, ever the opportunist, suggested reaching out. "Play nice. Remind him of family ties." A month later, an invitation arrived, Mike's birthday party. "Bring Jamie if you want," the note said, a tentative olive branch. Trevor debated, but Jamie encouraged it. "Give them a chance to see us as real." They flew in, nerves high. The party was subdued, held at a local hall. Relatives greeted them politely, but undertones persisted. Cousin Sarah chatted with Jamie about art, a genuine effort. But Uncle Ray cornered Trevor. "Heard you're doing well. Any chance you could invest in my business idea?" Trevor deflected. "Not now, Uncle." Ray muttered, "Figures now that you've got distractions." Dinner escalated when Dad raised a toast. To family, through thick and thin. Eyes turned to Trevor and Jamie. Mom added softly, "We're trying, son." But Emily, tipsy, blurted, "Trying? Trevor, you've always been there for us. Now you're different." Jamie tensed, but Trevor spoke calmly. "I'm the same person, Em. Just honest now." The argument spilled outside. Emily followed. "Honest? You've blindsided us. And with money tight." Trevor cut her off. "Money? That's all this is about." She teared up. "No, but we depend on you. If you pull away because of him." Jamie intervened gently. "It's not because of me. It's because Trevor deserves respect." Driving to the hotel, Trevor fumed. "They can't separate my identity from my wallet." Jamie agreed but added, "Some are trying." "Your mom seemed genuine." Trevor pondered that, wondering if change was possible. Back in New York, a crisis hit. Dad had a heart scare, hospitalized overnight. Mom called, voice trembling. "We can't afford the extras, copays, meds." Trevor wired money instinctively, but attached a note. "This is for Dad, but we need to talk boundaries." Mom replied gratefully, hinting at remorse. Therapy helped Trevor set limits. He started saying no to minor requests, redirecting Emily to budget apps. Mike's schemes got firm rejections. Slowly, responses shifted, fewer asks, more check-ins about his life. Jamie proposed a weekend getaway to celebrate their anniversary. In the Hamptons, walking the beach, Trevor felt free. "You've shown me I can have both love and self-respect." Jamie grinned. "And maybe your family will catch up." But doubts resurfaced when a family group chat exploded. Aunt Linda posted an article about traditional values, tagging Trevor. Comments poured in, some supportive, others divisive. Trevor responded, "Love is love. If you can't accept that, that's on you." The chat went silent. Then Mom private messaged, "I love you, son. Praying for understanding." As fall approached, Trevor reflected on the changes. His relationship with Jamie deepened, built on mutual support. Work thrived without the constant drain. Yet, the family's struggles tugged at him. Was he selfish for prioritizing himself? Winter brought new challenges. Snow blanketed New York as Trevor and Jamie decorated their apartment, stringing lights and planning holidays. For the first time, Trevor considered skipping the family trip home. "Let's host here," Jamie suggested. "Neutral ground." Trevor agreed, sending invites with a note, "Come see our life." Responses varied. Mom and Dad accepted hesitantly. Emily eagerly, citing free babysitting from cousins. Mike declined, citing work. Aunt Linda politely refused, Uncle Ray too. As the date neared, Trevor prepped, buying gifts and cooking traditional dishes with a twist, Jamie's vegan options alongside Mom's favorites. They arrived on a crisp December evening, bundled against the cold. Mom hugged Trevor tightly. "Your place is beautiful." Dad nodded approvingly at the view. Emily's kids marveled at the skyline. Over dinner, conversation flowed cautiously, work updates, kids' school. Jamie shared stories of his latest exhibit, earning genuine interest from Mom. But cracks appeared. Dad eyed their shared bedroom subtly, saying little. Emily whispered to Trevor, "This is fancy. Must cost a fortune." He smiled tightly. "We work hard." Later, as kids slept, the adults gathered by the fire. Mom broached it. "We've missed you. Things feel different." Trevor nodded. "They are. I needed space to be myself." Dad shifted uncomfortably. "Son, we never meant to make you hide. But it's hard, our town, the church." Jamie listened quietly. Emily chimed in, "Yeah, people talk. They ask why you're not married." Trevor felt frustration rise. "Married? To a woman? That's not me." Mom teared up. "We just want you happy. But grandkids." Jamie interjected softly, "Happiness isn't one size fits all." The discussion heated. Dad admitted, "We've relied on you too much." Felt entitled. Trevor appreciated the honesty. "I love helping, but not at the cost of my identity." Emily confessed, "I'm scared. If you stop, what then?" Trevor suggested resources, job training for her, financial planning for Dad. The next day, sightseeing bridged gaps. At the Met, Mom bonded with Jamie over art. Dad shared factory stories with Trevor, reminiscing without demands. Emily relaxed, laughing at kids' antics. But tension peaked at dinner out. A waiter assumed they were family, complimenting the couple, meaning Trevor and Jamie. Dad stiffened. Mom forced a smile. Back home, Dad pulled Trevor aside. "I don't understand it, but I see how he makes you happy." It was progress, small but real. As they left, hugs lingered. Mom whispered, "Come home sometime." With Jamie. Post-holidays, Trevor felt optimistic. Calls increased not for money, but connection. He helped Emily with a resume, Dad with retirement forms. Boundaries held. Requests were reasonable. But society intruded. A work colleague outed Trevor casually in a meeting, sparking whispers. Then, a family friend from Elmwood posted online about praying for lost souls, indirectly targeting him. Trevor confronted it head-on, posting a photo with Jamie, proud and loved. Support flooded in, but backlash too, unfollows from relatives. Jamie faced his own hurdles. His conservative gallery contact hesitated on a show, citing image. "It's everywhere," Jamie said, "even in art." Trevor supported him, attending openings, amplifying his work. Spring brought a turning point. Emily called, excited, "I got a job, better pay." Trevor congratulated her genuinely. "Proud of you." She paused. "Thanks for pushing me. And I'm sorry about before." Jamie's great. Healed old wounds. Yet, conflicts persisted. At a cousin's wedding back home, Trevor and Jamie attended as a couple. Some welcomed them, others avoided. Uncle Ray made a snide remark, "Hope this doesn't affect the family fund." Trevor retorted, "The fund's closed. Time to contribute." Ray backed off, but whispers followed. During the reception, a heated debate erupted among guests about same-sex marriage laws. Trevor defended equality, citing personal stakes. Dad, surprisingly, added, "My sons taught me a lot. It wasn't full endorsement, but a step." Returning to New York, Trevor reflected on growth. His family's shift from dependence to respect mirrored his own journey from hiding to authenticity. Jamie proposed over a quiet dinner. "Marry me?" Trevor said yes, tears flowing. Planning the wedding sparked new dramas. Who to invite? Mom offered to host a small ceremony in Elmwood, but Dad worried about town talk. "Do it here," Emily suggested. Trevor chose neutral, a Brooklyn venue, intimate. Invites went out, responses mixed. Aunt Linda declined with a note, "Can't support this choice." It stung, but Trevor focused on yes. Mom helped with flowers, Dad with logistics, Emily as bridesmaid equivalent. As the day approached, nerves built. Would old patterns resurface? Jamie reassured, We've come far. The wedding day dawned bright, sunlight streaming through the venue's windows. Trevor adjusted his tie, Jamie grinning beside him. Guests mingled, friends from New York, family from Illinois. Mom fussed over details, Dad shook hands stoically. Emily's kids served as ring bearers, adding joy. The ceremony was simple, vows heartfelt. You've shown me strength in vulnerability, Trevor said to Jamie. And you've given me roots in freedom, Jamie replied. Applause erupted, even from hesitant relatives. At the reception, toasts flowed. Mom's was tearful. I'm learning every day. Love you both. Dad's gruff. Welcome to the family, Jamie. But not all was smooth. Uncle Ray cornered Trevor during dances. Nice party. Cost a pretty penny. Trevor smiled coolly. Our savings, Uncle. Ray pressed. With the economy, maybe you could help with my loan? Trevor refused firmly. Focus on celebrating. Ray left grumbling, exposing lingering entitlement. Later, a cousin's drunk rant about traditional marriage sparked argument. This is unnatural, he slurred. Jamie stayed calm, but Trevor defended fiercely. Love isn't up for debate. Dad intervened. Enough. This is their day. The cousins stormed out, but the moment unified others. Honeymoon in Italy brought bliss. Ancient ruins, gelato, stolen kisses. Back home, they settled into married life, adopting a dog, planning travels. Family calls evolved. Mom shared recipes, Dad fishing tales, Emily job updates without asks. Yet societal pressures mounted. A bill in Illinois threatened LGBTQ rights, prompting Trevor to donate and advocate. He wrote an op-ed on family acceptance, drawing praise and hate mail. One letter from a distant relative. You've shamed us. It hurt, but Jamie reminded, you're inspiring others. Work brought opportunities, a promotion, but with travel. Jamie's career soared, a solo show selling out. Balancing it all, they discussed kids. Adoption, Jamie suggested. Trevor warmed to it, but worried about family reaction. Summer reunion loomed, this time in New York. Invites specified, come as you are, no expectations. Attendance was high, curiosity piqued by the wedding buzz. The gathering at a park was lively, picnics, games. Jamie charmed with stories, Trevor mediated talks. But Emily pulled him aside. I'm pregnant again. Ex is gone for good. Trevor empathized. Congrats. Need help? She shook her head. No, I've got savings now. Just wanted to share. It was progress. Dad opened up during a walk. I was wrong, son. About a lot. Trevor hugged him. Thanks, Dad. Mom joined, admitting church friends' influence. But family's more important. Aunt Linda surprised everyone by showing. I read your article, she said stiffly. Made me think. No apology, but presence spoke volumes. As evening fell, debates arose naturally. Politics, rights. Trevor facilitated, encouraging empathy. Mike, attending late, pitched a surefire investment. Trevor listened, then declined. Focus on stable jobs, bro. Mike nodded, perhaps learning. Leaving, family expressed gratitude. Thanks for hosting, Mom said. Proud of you. Trevor felt closure, but questions lingered. Fall brought a bombshell. Dad retired early, health declining. We might need to downsize, Mom confided. Trevor offered advice, not cash. Let's plan together. They did, finding affordable options. Emily thrived at work, independent. Jamie and Trevor pursued adoption, attending classes. Sharing with family, reactions varied. Excitement from Emily, caution from Dad. Kids need stability, he said. Trevor replied, we provide that. A holiday visit home tested bonds. At dinner, talk turned to the future. Uncle Ray, uninvited but present, sniped. Two dads? That's controversial. Debate ensued, voices rising. Mom defended, love makes a family. It ended unresolved, but united them against external judgment. Trevor pondered the journey, from hidden benefactor to open partner. Conflicts had forged stronger ties, but at what cost? Years blurred into routines enriched by milestones. Trevor and Jamie adopted twins, a boy and girl, siblings from foster care. The process was grueling. Interviews, home visits, doubts from agencies about non-traditional families. But perseverance paid off. Naming them Mia and Ethan, they brought them home to cheers from friends. Family reaction was mixed but evolving. Mom flew in immediately, cooing over the babies. Grandma's here. Dad video called daily, warming slowly. Emily visited with her brood, playdates ensuing. Even Aunt Linda sent gifts, a silent thaw. Raising kids amplified joys and stresses. Sleepless nights, first steps, school choices. Jamie scaled back art for parenting. Trevor negotiated flexible hours. They tag-teamed, a united front. Societal hurdles persisted. At preschool, a parent's petition against alternative families surfaced. Trevor advocated at meetings, Jamie rallied community support. They won, but it drained them. Worth it for them, Jamie said, cradling Mia. Family visits became regular. In Elmwood, kids charmed relatives, bridging gaps. Dad taught Ethan fishing. Mom baked with Mia. But whispers about those city influences lingered. During one trip, a town fair incident. A vendor refused service, citing beliefs. Trevor confronted calmly. Discrimination hurts everyone. Dad backed him. That's my son and grandkids. A small victory. Financially, boundaries held. When Mike's business failed, he asked for a bailout. Trevor offered advice instead. Join a program. Mike grumbled but enrolled, succeeding eventually. Emily's independence inspired. She mentored others. As kids grew, questions arose. Why two dads? Ethan asked at 5. Trevor explained love's forms. Jamie illustrating with drawings. Family reinforced. Mom shared stories of acceptance's journey. A major conflict brewed when Illinois proposed anti-LGBTQ legislation. Trevor lobbied, testifying with Jamie. Our family deserves protection. Media coverage brought pride and threats. Anonymous calls, online trolls. They installed security, but fear crept in. Family rallied. Dad wrote letters to lawmakers. As a father, I support my son. Mom organized church prayers for equality. Emily protested locally. United, they pushed back. At a family reunion, now alternating locations, toasts celebrated growth. From division to this, Trevor said, eyeing the blended crowd. But Uncle Ray's absence noted old rifts. Kids thrived. Mia artistic like Jamie, Ethan analytical like Trevor. School plays, sports, normalcy amid uniqueness. Reflecting on his path, Trevor wrote a memoir draft, chronicling from family bank to fulfilled father. Publishers interested, but he hesitated. Too personal? Jamie encouraged. Share to help others. A health scare for mom united them. Hospital visits, Trevor covering basics without resentment. Recovery strengthened bonds. As twins turned 10, Trevor and Jamie renewed vows, family attending fully. No hesitations now. Yet, life's ambiguities remained. Had financial support enabled dependence, or was it love? Did coming out heal or fracture? In quiet moments, Trevor wondered about choices. Prioritizing self led to this richness, but at familial cost initially. Was it right to withhold support until acceptance was earned? Or should family obligations transcend personal identity?